Hey, it's MK, and I am here with a 31 days of cut file layout for you guys today. I am going to show you guys the calendar. We are on day 5 with the presents for today. I really wanted to think outside of the box using these presents. So I pulled out some of these MK Traveler die cuts. I'm not sure exactly what's left in these, but we will see. I also have the cut-aparts from my paper line that came out back in March. And then from Simple Stories, Simple Vintage Essentials, I pulled out a ton of scraps because when I first saw what I pulled out, I figured that there wasn't enough layers. Like there's not enough papers or anything. I'm just putting a cut file down and photos and then I'm done. And when I go to put the layout together, that's really all I needed. So I don't end up using the scraps. I also have some more brown cardstock scraps from Close to My Heart that I'm going to be using to back my cut file. And then I've got these pictures here of my boys helping me deliver your guys' cut files. And I thought that that was just going to be the perfect layout for this month to do right now using a cut file. I also have some Dusty Attic chipboard pieces. And then some other scraps. These are glitter scraps from Close to My Heart. And then I'm going to use these packaging or this packaging from 49 and Market to matte my photos. So I'm going to double matte my photos, but get rid of the white border. I wanted the border to be a little bit more of the vanilla color rather than white. I also have this twine from Stampin' Up! And then my ground espresso ink pad because a couple of my papers are crisp and white and I need to grunge them up. From Crafty Garden, I have a couple of rub-ons left over, so I'm going to end up using those as layering pieces on my layout. These pieces here are also from my paper line. The stripes are from the packaging, and then I've got a little bit of this green that has the postcards on the back, and then this piece of paper here that has the compasses on the back. So I will be using this piece as my base piece. And then layering everything up. So the first thing I'm going to do is back my photos. But first I need to decide which way I want my presents to face. Because we cut this out of white cardstock and it's not really directional, you can flip it and see which direction you really want your packages to lay. And with the way that my photos went, having my packages facing on more the right side and going into the left worked really well for me. So the cool part about this cardstock, and I have to say that Stampin' Up! Now sells this cardstock, so I'm super excited. They are expanding book by book of how much of this cardstock they are providing. But the best part about this cardstock is that it is double-sided. So I actually get 4 different colors of browns, which is really cool because now my packages are going to have depth and dimension just by being different colors. And then I forgot about the bows entirely. I thought that, I could ignore them, but they need to be backed as well. So I found this little scrap of MK Traveler paper, and I'm just going to back them all the exact same. They're all going to get this blue ribbon on top. I thought about cutting the ribbons off, to be honest, but then I would have gaps and dents in my package. And we all know that we get dented up packages, but I definitely didn't want my packages to be dented up on this layout. So no, I am going to just go ahead and back them all with this blue. And then I plan on giving them a little bit more dimension by adding the twine on top and giving my bows a 3D feel, more of a fun package feel, right? And of course, the whole time that, we back the brown packages, everybody knows the song and everybody knows that hit was in my brain. I'm sitting here singing a few of my favorite things. Yes, I am, because they're brown paper packages, right? And then pretty soon they're going to be tied up with string. So yes, I am singing the song as I am as I'm backing my cut file. And I did leave this part in for you guys to see, just because of the fact that this is how I back all of my cut files. I am not one to lay it down, trace it, cut it out, glue it on. I feel like that's an extra step. In a way, I've never actually tried it to see if it's better to cut it that way. But the glues these days, and I have to say it is all about the glue, to be honest. If you use a really wet glue that takes forever to dry, then yes, I would probably recommend the tracing, cutting, gluing, because then you're not fussying around with these specific pieces. But my glue dries, I want to say almost instantly, but I know it's not almost instantly. So I am able to just press it, hold it for a hot second, maybe even 3 seconds, probably even not even two seconds. And then I'm able to cut out my pieces directly on the page. And it does make for a very quick process because of the fact that I am gluing, cutting, going, instead of adding that tracing part into it, and then figuring out which direction the trace was in the first place. That would be me. I would forget which way the trace would go, because a lot of people flip their cut file over, trace it so that way the lines are on the back of the cut, and then put it on. And I would be so confused after probably the second or third piece. Yes, I would. So as you can see, I'm really starting to get all of the different packages and dimensions because of all of the different layers that this double-sided cardstock adds just by doing 2 packages. I've already got 2 different colors, and now I'm going to add the third color on my, on the back of my on the back of my presents, or I'm calling them packages. And it just makes me super happy with how this is starting to look and turn out. I also love watching it come together when I back my cut files like this, when I glue and cut and then flip it over and see the front side. It just starts to come together. I start to get excited, and it's just fun to see it process like this. Backing a cut file is one of my favorite things to do, to be honest, because of the final result, the final piece that you get to see, and the imagery, and it kind of gives you a proud moment because you finished something. It's not a whole project, but you finished something, and you were able to see it, and oh man, you just want to sit there and go, at the end, because there it is. All right, I'm cleaning off my desk because I got glue everywhere. It's sticky, and it's gummy, and it gets, I can feel it. I can feel it all on my arms, on my hands, on my cut file. Yeah, it's just icky. So here I got distracted, and I ended up having to turn off my camera, but I am using the fork technique for making my bows, and basically all it is wrapping the twine around the fork and then leaving a little tail so you can put it in the middle and then up through to capture all of the string together, and it just forms a little knot. But the fork keeps them nice and just a petite little bow, which is what I was looking for. I probably could have went into my ribbon stash and pulled out something a little bit bigger, but I didn't want it to be bulky. Bringing out my vacuum. Any name suggestions, by the way? Janet's got a really cute name for hers, and mine is just awesome. Yes, I have to say I am so thankful for Janet gifting me this for my birthday, and she's just the neatest little thing. Sitting on my desk. I love the little lights that turn on when I turn her on. I mean, it's awesome. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and grunge up all of my pieces. I needed to just get this strip because it was part of the packaging. So the packaging was a little bit lighter than the rest of the paper pack was. And so I just needed to get it a little bit darker and up to speed with the rest of the layout. I'm going to go ahead and I'm trying to get this straight without pulling out my ruler because I'm being lazy. But I'm going to go ahead and get all of my main elements down on the page. I'm not putting a whole lot of glue down because I know that I still have things I want to tuck under. But I'm just trying to get an idea of where everything is going to go. I want to say pretty quickly, I've caught myself several times where I will start putting a layout together and realize I haven't even glued my pictures down yet. And so I'm trying to get out of that habit, but it's also because of me needing to put these rub-ons on. I really needed my pieces to be where they're supposed to go so I can know where my rub-ons can go without being covered up. So here I'm just adding in like layers. I'm just seeing what it looks like. And yeah, I already don't like it, but I'm one of those that I keep going and realize, yeah, it's not, nope. I just took away from all my presents. I just took away from everything. I do want a spot for my title, which is so much more, which it's actually going to say expect so much more because of the fact that Janet and I have taken on the task of creating all of these cut files for you guys for each month. And every month or every year, you guys have said how amazing they are. We've knocked it out of the ballpark this year. I mean, just great comments and encouragement for us to strive more every year. And so, yes, that makes really a lot of sense to me for my title to say expect so much more, because we want to keep going for all of this. All right, so I took some Close to My Heart white ink and went ahead and just inked up my postcards, as well as I have an airmail circle. I don't remember where it went. Did I already ink that up? I probably did off camera on accident. But I went off camera to do my rub-ons because they took forever for me to figure out where I wanted them and everything. I love the addition of the rub-ons. They blend in really well with the background. And so yes, I was in the process of doing the rub-ons, and then I was probably inking up my chipboard and then looked up and realized that I hadn't turned the camera back on after the rub-ons were done. So I'm going to have two little clusters on either side of the title, so that way I drew attention to the title. And then I also liked the globe down there next to the presents, because I actually had, not actually, that kind of sounds rude, but I was impressed with being able to send my packages overseas. And in two other countries this year. That just made my heart so happy. I want to thank everybody that did that. I do want to apologize if there were duty fees. I try to do my best to take care of that, figure it out. What causes it, I don't know, you guys. But I do want to say thank you for your guys' purchases, all of you guys. In all honesty, Janet and I, it's your guys' encouragement that keeps us going, to be honest. And so, yes, thank you all so very much for encouraging us to continue to do this every year. It is a lot of work. It is, but it's worth it. It really is. You guys make it worth it. The Facebook groups filling up with the images makes it worth it. It is awesome. I love seeing what you guys make every year. Even if you guys use the older cut files, it does not matter. I just absolutely love seeing what you guys do. All right, so that is my layout. I just took a couple of the flowers that were from my paper line, as well as a couple little pieces that kind of represented going somewhere, mailing and all that stuff from the Minte paper line. And yeah, I am so super excited with how this layout turned out. I absolutely love it. I do plan on writing on the back of my layout about my appreciation for all of you guys and that it's not possible without you guys. The truth be told, it is not possible without you guys. And so Janet and I are very grateful for all of you guys. So thank you so much. Everyone, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Don't forget to check out the playlist down below, everyone else that is playing along with 31 Days of Cut Files. Also, too, don't forget to check out Janet Fritz's channel, because she is my partner in crime for when it comes to 31 Days of Cut Files. And again, I appreciate you guys all for hanging out with me today. I really, truly appreciate it. And I will check you guys all later. Bye.